Just go ahead and then you can, like email us later.
All right, recording has started.
Boom. All
Wonderful.
right.
So go ahead.
Perfect.
You can share your screen so we can see what you're going to show us.
Sure.
David, do you have those documents, or do you want me to share?
Um, the tier two documents,
Yes.
I believe I do. Let me see real
Okay.
quick.
Perfect. Well, in that case, while he's pulling that up, Daniel, just really quick to clarify once again, David is the one who will normally help you and assist you with anything post sign up. Anytime you have, I know earlier you requested information about training, stuff like that. David will usually be able to do Skype meetings or presentations for yourself and any of your workers as well to kind of help give that information, as well as go to market information that you may need. He's the one who would normally share that with you and kind of help you with those plans.
Very good. Very good. That would be really great. Did you get
Yeah,
my email? Did you get my email asking you like 3 or 4 points that you guys, if you can explain it?
yeah. Let
Yes,
me pull
and
that up real quick.
Okay.
All right, so let me share my screen with you and tell me when you can see it.
By the way, this is my first time using Skype for meeting.
All right, well, knock on wood. Hopefully it works for us.
Hopefully.
I'm seeing a screen.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Just expand it if you can. Okay, super. Yeah,
okay.
very clear.
So let me go to your email and we'll go over that first. You had an email
Sure.
that had some things. Oh, that's not it. Okay, here it is right here. Um, okay, so you have 4 dots here. The training program you have for our sales team. So basically, my job here as a dedicated resource for you once you become an indirect CSP reseller client of ours is to help you with all the pre-sales information. So sales readiness, sales training, marketing information and collateral to help you market to your customers, pipeline generation activities, um, demand generation activities, business development, anything of that nature. So I can help you directly. We also have a self-service website. Let me show you that real quick if I can pull it up real quick. Favorites. There's also this. This is a customer-facing website. This is on the public internet, and we call it the CSP Reseller Toolkit. So once you enter, if you're not into the program yet, which you're not, you could focus on this red section, and this gives you a lot of information about the indirect CSP program in itself. What it is, how it benefits Microsoft partners, what products you can sell, all of that type of stuff. And once you enter into the program, then you can focus on the differentiate section. And this is where, when you call out sales readiness, this is where a lot of the sales readiness is. You can see there's a hyperlink for product knowledge, hyperlink for a business foundation, technical foundation, and profitability roadmaps. So this is what you would all go through before you start trying to sell anything to your customers, is this section. And then once you get all that done and you know the products now, you know how the program works, you're ready to go to market, then you can focus on the acquire section. And this is everything to help you communicate to your customers and prospects. Um, Market ready campaign, sales tools. You can launch marketing campaigns on the social networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can put banner ads on your internet site, your public-facing website, and so we break it down by product groups as well. So Azure, these are the main products that are available through CSP. Azure, Enterprise Mobility and Security, that's gone through a name change recently. Office 365, Power BI, Windows 10 Enterprise, and Dynamics 365. So, so when it comes to that bullet point, the training program you have for our sales team, it's twofold. It's do it yourself, which is on that website that I can send you the link to, and then it's me as a dedicated resource for you to reach out to, email, call, let me know whatever you're working on, what you may need, and I'll provide it straight to you. Do you have any questions about that bullet
Uh,
point?
so far, for the first one, seems pretty much seems very clear. But how long do you think it's going to take us to start producing once after we join you from your other experience?
How long is it going to take you to start reselling?
Yeah,
Well, just as soon as you're ready to roll. So let me ask you this. Do you have any customers that you're working with today as
we
their
have.
global administrator that's already paying Microsoft for some cloud products?
We haven't started contacting them yet, but since we already have about 100 employees and we have so many projects with different government organizations,
Oh,
so like we can do cross-selling. Basically, the reason why we start to focus on Office 365 is when we meet those customers for a different uh, solution providing, so we can mention about this, so we can start cross-selling, and also we can start adding additional new commercial clients too.
right. So yeah, there's really three different ways you can start to generate business right away. The first one is to sell Microsoft Cloud services to customers that are not using the Microsoft Cloud today. So maybe they're using Exchange Online, or I'm sorry, Exchange on premise, or they just are running Windows servers locally, and you want to get them into the cloud. You can just sell them directly, and that would be their first cloud purchase.
Super.
Then you have a
So,
different segment of customers who may already be in the Microsoft Cloud already today, but they're paying Microsoft directly.
uh-huh.
So there's a process for you to just take on that billing relationship where you can say, Mr. Customer, I know you're already using Office 365, but since I'm going to act as your online administrator, why not let me just bill you for those services instead of you pay Microsoft, and then I'll be your single point of contact. I'll be your administrator. You won't ever have to work with Microsoft again. You can just work with me directly, locally. And then there's a process for us to just switch that billing where you can bill the customer directly. And the customer's not impacted at all. They don't see any difference.
I see. I see. Actually, they can even get in-person help from us compared to Microsoft.
Yeah, whatever other services you provide, then yeah, that would be even more value add that you'll have on your side of the ledger.
Sure, sure. As you know, most of the money may come from value-added services, so that's great.
Right. And then the third one is if they're paying another managed service provider. So if you have competitors in the market and you're working with their customers and they want to start giving you business, well then you can take on business from another MSP as well. So there's processes for all three of those.
I see. So say like if I meet a client who's already subscribing from other CSP, what would be our selling point to bring them into us?
Well, just whatever all the other value added services you provide, whatever your go to market is, your products and offerings, any add-ons you do, any deployment services, migration services, software as a service.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad that you mentioned the word migration. Do you provide free migration like most indirect CSPs, or do we have to take care of that?
So if they're migrating from the cloud to the cloud, and so
From no, from on-premises to the
yeah,
cloud.
so that's not something we offer for free. There are tools out there that can kind of show you how to do it. There's also third-party tools that can be purchased, BitTitan, Sidekick, things like that. And then third, yes, Insight does have a services division that could assist you with it, but it would be fee-based.
I see. Is that for cloud to cloud or on-premises to
No, just
cloud or both?
on-premise, on-premise. So if we're just changing the billing relationship from paying Microsoft directly to paying you, but the customer's going to keep using Exchange Online, that's easy. There's really no migration work that needs to be done. If uh, if they're using Exchange Online in one tenant and they want to start using Exchange Online in a completely different tenant, well then yes, there's some migration work that needs to be done there, and we can help you with it. And if the customer is using Exchange on premise and wants to go to Exchange Online, then there's some migration there that needs to be done that we can help you with.
Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
So your next bullet point says partnership options. You mentioned white label, co-partner, things of that nature. So the tool that you use through Insight, we call it an Insight Cloud Management Platform Portal. So a long title. But that's the tool that you will use to enter your customers' orders through us.
Can you show me the screen? You're still on the email
Oh, I
screen.
sure am. Well, I don't know if I have a. Let me see if I don't know if I have our portal site saved. Let me see. Cloud Management Platform. Okay, so I don't have a user ID and a password because I'm not a user. But once you sign up, we'll give you a user ID and password to sign into our order entry tool. And then when you get an order from your customer for 10 Exchange Online Plan 1s, you'll go into this tool, you'll set them up as a customer, you'll enter their order for 10 Exchange Online Plan 1s, you'll provision the licenses, you'll assign users to the services, and then you manage it all from our tool. Now, our tool has API connectivity to the Office 365 portal with Microsoft. So everything you do in our tool gets communicated to the Microsoft portal automatically. But this tool is for you only, not for your customers. So your customers will always have to order through you, and then you'll place the order. We're working on what we call a white label storefront, which will be a mechanism for you to give your customers access to a website where they can enter their own orders, and that order gets placed through you, through your indirect CSP program, right into this tool here. So you don't have to be so involved with the order entry process. But that white label storefront's not in market yet. Hopefully it will be soon, but it's being worked on as we speak.
Okay, great. So, do you have any additional points that you just want to tell me because your time is until 4 p.m.?
Well, no, that's all with that. And then marketing help leads. So I will help you with market. Oh, so we don't give you leads. I won't send you leads from actual customers or prospects straight to you. Now, if you sign up with Microsoft as a Microsoft partner under the indirect CSP program, Microsoft puts you on a list of available CSP reseller partners for customers to have access to, and you might could get some leads straight from Microsoft under that program and that tool. But Insight, as your CSP provider, does not provide you any leads to net new customers. Now, I'll help you with marketing. I can send you email templates that drill down on specific services and solutions that you can edit with your company logo and your contact information, and then you can blast out to any list of customers or prospects that you have, and then you can kind of announce to the world that, hey, you are now a Microsoft Cloud reseller, and you can sell these products straight to them, and they no longer have to go directly to Microsoft.
I see. So, just from your experience, just being curious, how long have you been doing this stuff?
I've been selling Microsoft products for about 17 years. I've been in this role that I'm in today for 14 months.
All right, that's cool. So, from your experience, usually, how many leads do you think Microsoft will provide us per month, based on what you have observed?
Minimal, less than 5 probably, because you're on a list with so many other resellers.
Exactly.
It's a very long list.
So when you say 5 leads, means 5 companies they might have some thousands of nodes there. Is that what you mean when you say 5 leads, or it's going to be just 5 customers?
No, it would be. So if I'm a company and I'm just, what city and state are you located? Are you in Miami?
No, we're in Virginia.
Virginia, that's right. I'm sorry. So if I was a company in Richmond, Virginia, and I just, wanted to try to find a local partner that I could do Microsoft business with, a lot of times they'll go to the Microsoft website and they'll go to the indirect CSP page, and there's a button that says, find a partner or whatever, and they can click on that button, they can enter their zip code, and then Microsoft will give them a list of, let's say, 10 to 20 to 30 partners that are in business in that Richmond, Virginia area. And then,
Oh, I see. So they can pick their own.
yes,
I
yes,
see. I see. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And then just being curious, why is Microsoft providing that information while Microsoft itself can do it?
Well, that's just part of the Microsoft Partner Program. So you signed up to be a Microsoft partner, and you should have a Microsoft Partner Network ID,
Yes, we do.
and that's just part of that program. Is they include you on a database of existing partners that end customers can sort through and help find partners in their area.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay.
That's
Makes
just a
sense.
benefit of being a Microsoft partner.
Yeah, they just need someone also to be a local, so they can feel much more comfortable to work with
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
local.
You'd rather work with somebody in your neighborhood than on the other side of the country, I would think.
That's true. That's why when I was contacting today, Robin, I see one of your office to be in Chantilly, Virginia.
Yeah.
Chantilly is like 20 minutes from us. So
Okay.
I was excited, but he told me that he was not sure what kind of office it is, right? Robin, were you
Right.
there?
It's a services office, probably. Our big offices are in Tempe, Arizona, Montreal, Canada. I work out of Plano, Texas. We have an office in Spokane, Washington. But we have sales offices in Austin, Texas. We're a big company.
Yeah, I can see that. I can,
Yeah, we're
because what I
fortunate.
thought is, yeah, what I see is the federal government is pretty much in our area here,
Yeah,
DMV, and there are so much big projects going on in this area, and there is a huge IT, you can call it IT town called Reston and
Reston,
Herndon.
Virginia. Yeah.
Exactly, and then I was wondering you guys might have some kind of representation somewhere there.
Yeah, I mean, we're big in the federal government as a large account reseller. So Insight's kind of a strange animal. We're a reseller too, so we sell straight to government agencies. But then
I
we're
see.
also the division that Ruben and I work in. We kind of work in our distributor division where we sell to resellers, and that's the part of the company we're in.
Okay, okay. And how about your terms and conditions that you guys are requiring when we sign with you? Do we have to like, can you just give me just to be, I just want to be honest with you right now. I mentioned it to Ruben earlier. At this stage, what we're doing is we're just having this type of phone conversation with three or four of you from
Okay,
different indirect providers. So we'll pick the best one out there.
sure.
And then the way how we see it is the first thing is who has a dedicated account manager for us, especially for the first 1 month until we feel 100% comfortable. And then after that, our contact with you will be minimized because pretty much we'll master it.
Hmm.
But for the first 1 month, we would be very happy someone to hold our hand and show us the inside out kind of thing. So we're gonna bring you business at the same time we'll make money too.
Absolutely, and that's
So
why
that's
I'm
the
here.
first, exactly, that's the first priority we have. And second thing is, since anybody can say anything, we don't want to sign any kind of obligatory contract that's going to tie us with any of the companies. We just want to get tied there because of good service and good pricing, not just with the contract. So we prefer not to sign any kind of contract that's going to tie us for a dedicated time.
Yeah, the CSP agreement is pretty lax. I mean, there is paperwork to sign. A lot of this language came straight from the from Microsoft, and we just put it on Insight paperwork. But Ruben can forward you this document, and you can just read through it. It just requires one signature at the end. Um, it doesn't require you to purchase anything from Insight. We have several partners that have signed up and still haven't resold anything yet. It's just taken them a while to get their feet wet and get into the program.
How long
Uh,
do you think it's going to take from your experience for most resellers in your 14 months experience
well, a
that you're
lot of
serving?
people sign up because they're acting as the administrator for a company that's paying Microsoft directly. So they
I
just
see.
want to get that profit. They want to resell those services and, make 16 to 24 points of margin, for what the customer's buying already. So then that's easy. For companies to sign up and then start to get net new customers on their own, it probably is going to take a month or so. I don't know what your pipeline's like. I don't know what your customer
I
base is like, or
mm-hmm.
how y'all market. But I'll send you some, like I said, collateral to get that going and just start to ruffle, shake some branches and see if anything falls. And um, I'm available to have customer conference calls with you as well. If you have a customer that has a lot of questions and they want to have a call and you want to engage me, I'll be glad to participate on those calls.
Oh,
Or
great.
or I can stay on the back end, and just communicate everything through you. And then, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'll work with you however you want to work with.
Okay, super. That the only drawback so far I see from your side is you guys don't have that free migration service that we get from a few of the indirect resellers out there. So,
Now, I will tell you, we have an incentive. So are you, Ruben, are they an SPLA reseller, do you know?
They are not through me. So
Okay.
as far as I know, we don't have anything going currently.
Okay. We have some incentives in place for some of our SPLA resellers who are selling Exchange on premise, and
mhm.
we'll do the email migration for free if they move 250 or more of their customers to Exchange Online under
I see. Okay.
CSP.
Uh-huh.
But
So
that's the only thing I know that we have for free.
super. So would that be only for email server or
Yeah,
other applications too? Only for email server.
it's only for Insight SPLA customers. So if
I
you
see.
have an SPLA, you would have to do a change of channel partner to have Insight as your SPLA enterprise software advisor.
I see.
It's only for Exchange on premise to Exchange online, and it's if you order 250 or more, at the one order,
I see.
and then
Okay.
that includes complimentary email migration from the on-premise Exchange environment to the Exchange Online environment.
I see. Okay, great. So, right after we hang up later, what I want from you is either today or tomorrow, if you can just send me a one page of showing all your offerings that can really attract people or companies like us to join. Like,
Okay.
right? So, most of the companies they have like in a bullet form or in a point form saying that we provide this kind of thing. So
Okay.
in a short form, so I can show it to the CEO.
Yeah, and you mentioned one thing I want to point out is you mentioned working with a lot of government customers.
Yeah,
So
pretty much we are heavy on the government side,
so if
but
your customers require access to the Microsoft Government Cloud, the only thing that's available under the indirect CSP program today is Azure Gov.
okay,
So there are different plans of Office 365 that are specific to the government cloud. They're called Office 365 government plans, and those plans are not available under the indirect CSP program yet. Microsoft is working on that, and they haven't given us a firm availability date. They just say to be determined. But Azure Gov was put under this indirect CSP program in October. So I'm assuming that the Office 365 government plans will be available in the next month or so.
I see. Okay,
And
that's
I
good.
will throw this extra little bullet point out there just so it is known. The number of businesses or companies that were approved for the the 365 Gov that is going to be released is very minimal.
Okay,
So all indirect CSP providers are not eligible to do Gov SKUs yet. Insight
I
is one of the few that are. We just haven't. Microsoft just hasn't released them yet.
I see. Okay, great. So
And
yeah, whenever you get the chance, just go ahead and email me the conversation we had so far, and I think you don't have that much of thing to show on the screen, right? So I can just go ahead and explain it to the CEO.
Sure, I got you.
So as I told you, I'm gonna just add additional one or two CSP providers, indirect CSP providers, and see what they offer.
Yeah.
And then we make our decision. But we decided to make our decision sometime this week.
One other thing I'd like to point out about Insight that differentiates us from a lot of our competitors is we are more than just a distributor. So
Okay.
you may be looking at companies like Ingram Micro or Tech Data or
Yeah, there are a bunch of
Cinex.
them out there.
So they are mainly distributors. So they really can't sell to the end customer. They're supposed to sell to resellers, and then you sell to the end customer.
Have you
As
heard
I'm
about ShareWave?
SureWeb, yeah, I think they're the same way.
I see.
Insight is one company. We can be your SPLA reseller, we can be your
Uh-huh.
indirect CSP reseller, and we can also be your large account reseller. And we're the only company that can do all three. And what that means is if you need hardware or software or services for your own internal use, mainly
Uh-huh.
software, but if you need Microsoft software, IBM software, Symantec, Adobe, Trend Micro, you want to buy software for your own company's use, well, then you can buy that straight from Insight because we're a large account reseller. And then you can also use us as your distributor for your indirect CSP program, and you could also use us as your enterprise software advisor for your SPLA enrollment. So if you really want to do a vendor consolidation and work with one company that can provide you everything, Insight would be the one company to do that. And then, Ruben probably told you we work with a lot of other publishers under their reseller programs as well. Companies like Veeam and IBM and VMware, they all have reseller programs as well that Insight is a distributor for, and we could be your reseller, we could be your distributor for all those programs.
I see. I see. All right. So
All right.
pretty much, you gave me enough information. If I
Yep.
have any questions, so I will go ahead and send you the email. Um, so just expect some kind of email from us either before the end of day tomorrow.
Okay, and I'll work with Ruben to get you whatever you need from us to review with your senior management.
Super, super. Thank you so much. And then please email me this conversation we had
The
earlier
recorded
yesterday.
session.
Right?
Yep. I'll work on that too.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you,
All right.
Robin.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Daniel.
All right. Have a wonderful afternoon.
All right.
Hey,
You
you as
too.
well.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.